It, yo, we're
What
live.
up,
This is Sheza. I am here with
Saint Jason?
Bomb Bomb. Slim might pass through. You never know. Maybe he hasn't watched the episode. Maybe he doesn't want us to spoil it for him. Because true say, we will spoil the shit out of this.
Yep.
If you're just tuning in, this is the casual fan. Oh my god, I got like the burps. Sorry, I got the burps. But yes,
All
this
of
is
it
the.
be drinking.
It is, man. It's the Marvel Critique Union. WandaVision is long and done. Feels like it was like a lifetime ago. Now we're back to some Marvel shit. Some real Marvel shit. You want some
Yeah.
superheroes fighting, crazy scenes. Like, you saw how they opened it, right? Like, they opened it with that Falcon. Hold on, no. The first opening scene, was it the Falcon with the Captain America shield and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing the whole piece, the voiceover and all that shit. Wondering, should I be Captain America? Oh, I can't do this. Let me give it back.
Yeah.
That sucker shit.
I get it. I understand it.
But still, it's that sucker shit. Like, come on, man. And I feel like when Rhodey rolled up on him, it was like, bro, I'm supposed to be the new Iron Man, and you are supposed to be the Captain America. What is going on? Do I have to ask you?
He was so disappointed.
He was so disappointed. He was looking at him like, come on, man. Like, we're top of top. Like, we the top two right now. You can be the Cap. I can be the Iron Man. We run this. Man was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready for it. I just gave it back. The government thanked him for it. Did they, ever thank him for it?
Oh, they did.
The scenes. Say it again?
It was an alley-oop.
Whew. And then the scenes with the family. What I found dope when they brought it to his family is they brought, I don't know if it's just something Disney is like very conscious of now of doing, but they're bringing more of a black side to every story now. Like, if the black character is there, it's not like, I feel like this is a better representation than Soul was, because it's not that he's a black guy all up in black situations and all that stuff. He's just black. You know what I mean? Like, he's a superhero that happens to be black. So when you go back to his home life, it's a regular life. You know what I mean? They're struggling. Like, he's a vet. Like, vets don't have no money. We learned superheroes don't make no money for shit.
Yeah.
As long as Iron Man's not around, I guess nobody's getting paid.
Guy at the bank was like, "Were you under Stark's payroll?
Like, do you have something else? Because we ain't got nothing for you." But I would have charged him for a selfie.
You notice something though? There's a theme going on here. Both of these series, they mention Starks early.
But you got to remember, the early MCU, his fingerprint is on everything.
I know, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is they don't waste time reminding you, I'm still involved.
That he's gone, yeah.
You know, even though I'm still. What was the acronym? Even in death. Oh, Edith. Even
no, not Edith.
Yeah, even dead, I'm the hero.
Oh, something like that. Yeah. But it's true. Like, he's all over the world. Like,
yeah.
But it's what it is. Like, truly, as people on the outside looking in, the start of the MCU started with him, right? So everything just makes sense that everything is still a reminder. Like, the banker is like, yo, are you on Iron Man's payroll? Oh, condolences, though. Bruh. Like,
he took a little selfie.
Yeah. And then there was like, yo, do people like us ever get a chance? He was like, whoa. Come on now. Come on. I was like, man, they're actually playing that part into these shows, which is pretty dope. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. And then we get into the other side, which is the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is having his meetings. Well, first he has the dream the dream scene was pretty crazy because I was like,
When you
already?
first, you're like, wait, his hair wasn't like this recently.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, he went back to it. I said, all right, back to the job. And then I heard the Hail Hydra. And I was like, hold on, was that his voice or was it the person? First, I'm like, maybe it was the person at the door, like thinking that he's a Hydra agent type thing, like Hail Hydra. And then he kind of looks at him like, nah, not no more. But then in watching it again, you start to see the tie-in of who the man is he killed, connected to that old man he's hanging out with the whole time. Yeah. It's kind of crazy that he keeps throwing out there that he's 106 years old too.
Yeah, like, it was funny when he just kind of blurted it out, so she took it as a joke, and he's like, yeah, huh, yeah.
He has like no more shits to give though. She's like, how old are you? 106. Like,
oh,
it's whatever.
Before I forget, as far as the his list, did you notice Zemo's name was in it?
Yeah, Zemo's name. I saw like a breakdown of it. Like every name except one matches something in the comic book. So it is a possibility. That's a list of characters that they can just bring in at any time now. You know what I mean? But yeah, Zemo's on that list, which is his. It's like AA, like the 12 steps. You know what I mean? Where they have to go apologize. So this man is apologizing while getting them busted for still being Hydra agents. It's hilarious.
This man was controlling the car like a remote control car.
Remote control car. Called the police, whatever. Went down there. What do you do to it? Was the guy's hand? Like you mash up the man's hand? Yeah. When he's doing the interview, he's doing the therapy. They're like, you didn't hurt anybody, right? He's like, no. And then at the end, he's like, I used to work for Hydra, and I forgive you or some shit for what you did. And then the cops come and like arrest her. I was like, what?
He smiles. He like halfway smiles, like to do the whole thing, like I'm innocent type of thing, and then Biggie's out.
Well, it's so dope. Like just his part as it's building. Like, we even jump into the whole actions part of it. Like the Falcon, the first scene. And it goes right back to the whole jumping out of a plane, because in the commercial, they were showing us what's it called? That whole scene where he's jumping out the plane and then Bucky's there. So it felt weird that they already threw it there. Like, oh, maybe that was just like a red herring type thing. Like, you know, those scenes that they have that they don't show, but just they show it in the previews. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay. But that whole scene was crazy.
Yeah. The dope thing about that one, it reminded me of the air rescue scene in Iron Man 3, where they're diving and Tony's just trying to do some like monkeys in a barrel type.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where he links everybody, and then you got the safe landing on the water. So he's in the air and he's trying to take out one, save him. So I thought it was really dope. It reminded me of it.
So I felt for the guy. I felt for the first guy. The first guy is like, he jumps down. He's like, yo, I'm going to shoot this man. This man went dip, pop.
Under.
Pull this shoot. Bye-bye. You have nothing to do with anything anymore.
I love the way they shot it, because like you can see him kind of shaking.
Yeah.
Like, just like the little stuff in there. Like he turns around and he's like kind of shaking a little. I like that. It was dope.
Well, like, yeah, that whole scene, the dip in, it was pretty dope to see what's his name back. George St. Pierre, James GSP, playing Batroc, the Leaper.
Winter Soldier.
So more times.
They had to fight in the first scene.
Exactly. So it's a good callback. I think he's going to be in it more. I feel like he will be a part of like Zemo's whole thing.
Yeah.
But hey, man, can never go wrong when you see him in a fighting scene.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah,
I like Red Wing. I like the use of the Red Wing, the little thing, like, because even as like, because when the two helicopters came and started shooting at him, I was like, just that Red Wing is something you'd never expect. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So as soon as he went like behind like a rock and he pushed that Red Wing out, they were still shooting at him, not even realizing like the missiles are over there and they're about to just get you.
Yeah. That was dope.
But comic book wise, it was pretty. I guess I understand why they used the mechanical one, but Red Wing in the comic book was an actual Falcon that he had like a telepathic link with.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's probably hard as hell to either train a bird to do that, or very expensive to continuously have to create that bird with CGI. But wouldn't they have to create the Red Wing already in CGI though?
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been. Oh, I don't know. I guess a
Quick.
bird's feathers is probably harder. But yeah.
The scene like right after the aerial one, Sam and the guy from the base or whatever. He's asking him about Cap.
Oh yeah.
Like there's rumors of him being on a space
On the moon.
Yeah. Does that tie it to anything in the comics? I feel like that was like.
Okay,
something.
so on the moon, that's where the Watcher lives, right? The Watcher lives on the moon. But we also have to assume, just because they say moon, it doesn't mean it's not the same thing as he's outer space. You know what I mean? Up on the sword, up there with Nick Fury. So I'm feeling like there's a possibility that when Secret Wars and all that comes, you might see an old man Cap up there working with Nick Fury. You know what I mean? Like he lived his life, he had everything. Now let me help you protect the Earth. Like living off the planet is not a problem to him anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I felt when I heard it. I was like, more likely they're pushing that Cap is gonna become like a sword agent, and he's gonna work with Nick Fury in a way as old man Cap. So he doesn't have to come out young, and there's still that chance that he can come out young later down the line. And just because they're mentioning him doesn't mean he has to actually show. So, you know how the actual actor was like, I'm going to take like a break from Cap. It still gives him that break, but it leaves him there. Like he still exists within that whole thing.
Yeah.
But also, that guy you're talking about, he's going to be actually key in this whole thing. From what I'm seeing,
he got his face stomped in.
He got mashed. But he's going to be key through this whole thing because in the comic books, he's the second Falcon. So I can see this whole thing ending, that Falcon ends up becoming Captain America. So the Captain America Falcon. So he's going to have like the whole Falcon suit, but still in the Captain America colors. And then the Falcon title will go to that guy. And he's going to be the new Falcon, as in the new Avengers. You know what I mean? Because you know how they're building up all the younger versions of everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I feel he's going to become the younger version, just like in the comic books, of Falcon.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, he's going to be a big part. But there's so much to get to. Like I feel like this episode wasn't even long. It wasn't long enough.
It didn't feel long
at all. Even the second time watching it, same thing. Did not feel long again. I was like, come on. Like, at least with WandaVision, they dropped us 2. They gave us a Tupac. You know what I mean? They gave us a Tupac. They didn't give us nothing. Like,
well, there's only 6 episodes, so
you know what? WandaVision gave us a Tupac. They gave us a Biggie Smalls. What that means is it was a long album. It was a long episode. Compared to WandaVision, it was a longer episode, but it felt smaller. It felt shorter.
Yeah. But they packed a lot of stuff in that short period of time.
Yeah, they did. And
a lot of good stuff in there. Oh,
so
the Battleship drinking game. Why didn't we think of that?
You've never seen that? There's an actual Battleship drinking game, like drinking game. So whenever like you hit, take a shot. but the shot glasses are on the board type thing.
Okay, but
You gotta think of it. This is
why didn't Shot Club do it?
the shot club be slacking. Like there's so many games we gotta hit. Like there's so many games. But yeah. That's a game we gotta get to, but I don't know. What else just popped out to you for the whole episode?
Nurse Jackie, the therapist.
What about her?
She's Nurse Jackie. I just thought it was interesting that they cast her as a therapist.
Wait, hold on. Nurse Jackie, break that down. Nurse Jackie's from where?
The actor?
Yeah.
The show? Nurse Jackie?
Still. That's the name of the show, Nurse Jackie?
Yeah, you've never seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I put you onto a new show.
What is Nurse Jackie?
I think you should check it out. It's pretty dope.
Well, give me a breakdown.
She's like an anti-hero. She's like an anti-hero. She becomes addicted to pills and shit. She's cheating on her husband, but she's like a wicked nurse. But she's slack too, like super slack. Okay.
So it's kind of like a house.
Kind of, I guess.
But a nurse. I like to connect things. I like to compare things. Make it easy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with what, like, just because of WandaVision, it makes me watch everything so differently now. It's like, in watching this, I'm like, okay. So Falcon storyline is learning to get past the past. You know what I mean? Like letting go of learning to let go of the past and to move on with his future. Because if you watch the whole thing, like just off this one episode, he can't let go of the boat that his sister's trying to let go of. He can't let go that Cap is gone, and that he could replace him. That's the two biggest things, right? That's the two biggest things. And then for Bucky, I guess his storyline is I feel like his is kind of like WandaVision, is like Wanda's. Is like going through all those stages of what he's been through to become normal. You know what I mean? Like he's got to face, and that's what he's kind of doing. Like he's facing all the shit that he's done, and now that he feels bad about, he's got to learn how to accept those shits.
Yeah. And that even goes back to Civil War. Him and Stark.
Yep.
Again. Presence.
Yo, he gave a wicked shout out to Wakanda too. The only place he felt peace, Wakanda. Yeah. And then they brought the war there. I still say Black Panther should have never opened his borders. He opened his borders because they're like, oh, you got to be nice to the rest of the world. You got to do this, blah, blah, blah. Same year he opens it, Thanos comes to his fucking door. And like, oh, man. After 5 years and I come back?
But
shit. Oh, shit. I think that's how they're playing Black Panther. He's the only one that didn't come back from the blip. Something happened and he didn't come back from the blip.
What do you mean? Wait, run this back. Run it back.
I'm just thinking like, okay, because they're going to have to make Black Panther 2.
Right.
So because they have to make Black Panther 2, and he's not going to be there, how are they going to explain him not being there? He did disappear in the blip.
But he came
so what
back.
If he does? Oh, he did come back in the movie. He was there. Shit. Never mind.
What are you smoking?
Oh, I
He
forgot
came
that
back.
he did came back. He came back
He
right
was the
there.
first one out.
I know that sucks. That's even worse. I was trying to work it out for them. I was like, man, if they can actually use that excuse, like he didn't come back. But yeah, he was there.
I'm I'm really interested to see how they do that though, because
Yeah, how they bring him back.
they're gonna have to really treat that delicately.
How do you explain it? It's like I don't know. It's like those TV shows, like when a character dies and they gotta like, but they gotta cover that for a whole movie. Like, where did he go? Like, I don't know, man. That's why it kind of hit me right there. I was like, oh, maybe it's that way, because I really have no clue how they're gonna do that.
I thought you were putting me on to
That was,
some
man.
theory. I was like, wait, what?
I was almost there. I almost got my first theory out there. But yeah. What else in this episode? Pretty dope that. So Falcon had the action scenes, but Winter Soldier didn't. Interestingly enough, because you'd assume that Winter Soldier, well, I guess because his whole agreement with the he had his action, but it was a dream. You know what I mean?
It was still action.
It wasn't long though. It wasn't something like Falcons. It was just like I don't know. When you look at Winter Soldier, or the way I look at Winter Soldier, it's like this man should be on a mission all the time. You know what I mean? Like he's just always on a mission. But I guess
at the same time, you don't have to. Like you have to kind of show, you have to show the Falcon as a badass right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So let him have that. Like the Winter Soldier's you've already seen it. You've already had a whole movie as him like kind of like the
fighting fighting Captain America, and then fighting Captain America and Iron Man. So yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't need it.
He needs the backstory, right?
Yeah.
He needs the backstory. But I don't know. What do you expect from this show? Like, what do you? Hold on before we even get to expectations. I didn't realize, or I didn't expect them to reveal the new Captain America so fast.
I did.
I didn't. I expected to see the the run through the football field. I expected a little bit of arguments, like, yo, I hear rumblings that they're gonna like bring out a new Cap, and like, you know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be something like that, but it was just like the government was not playing. Government's like, he gave back the shield. All right, he's ready. He's right there. He's right there waiting. He's ready. Let's get it.
Because I have to think about it now in comparison to WandaVision. I have to say they don't have time to heat up. Like WandaVision had 9 episodes to roll out.
No, that's true.
The layers in the first one, they got to get to it.
You only they have 6 episodes, right?
There's 5 more episodes.
Oh, let's see where that lands, because we know that was it just announced? But we do know that Loki is dropping June 11th. So hold on, that's week 1, 2, 3, 4. The 9th, 4. So by April 16th, 416 should be done. April 16th.
Anniversary.
Yep. And then 2 months after that, that's when Loki starts. Yeah. So what is between that?
No, you get thing between that. You get Black Widow. Black Widow's in May.
Okay.
And then Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Shang-Chi's supposed to be June. True.
So boom, you're getting Shang-Chi and Loki in June.
And Black Widow gets a good month to just but they're supposed to be giving us something every week, remember? Every week it's supposed to be something.
Like a whole year. I can wait a couple weeks.
Nah, B. Give me weeks.
Bro, we're getting What If in summer. Then we're getting Ms. Marvel. We're getting Hawkeye.
There's a lot, but I'm just saying.
You're getting Spider-Man.
I'm just saying. I wonder
Eternals.
if I wonder. Okay, now that we saw Don Cheadle in Falcon, do you think we'll see Falcon in the Armor Wars?
Probably.
I feel like we're gonna see Falcon in Armor Wars.
Is his suit
Falcon,
Stark Tech?
the pack. I believe it would have to be. Like nobody makes anything except Stark, right? But you know what? Let me look this up just to be sure.
Yeah, there's a lot. We got a lot coming out in the next 2 months. I can wait a couple weeks.
So they call it the Exo 7 Falcon. Experimental military grade, helped them. Version was destroyed. Still not saying who created it. Was created for the Air National Guard, but who created it? Oh, Tony Stark. So the Air Force prototype suit, the Air National Guard made. The Avengers suit, Tony Stark made. So whatever he wears now is all Tony Stark. So whatever we saw him in 2015, that was the original one by the National Guard. So Tony Stark. So that's another Tony Stark.
Yeah, it'll probably pop up on Armor Wars.
Wonder if Riri would be in that, just like a bit.
I hope so.
Riri Williams.
I
think
I'm hoping there's gonna be some Wakandan appearance in this one, just because they already recalled, you know.
Oh, well, they said it. Oh.
Yeah, because it sounds like they're still trying to figure out his mind. Who better to explain it than Shuri?
I think maybe Loop. Yeah, there's that. I was just thinking of like if this is like more like a spy games type shit, you know? Mm-hmm. I can see Lupita's character being a part of this. Because that was her thing. Like she was playing a spy within Africa. But you never know. Like she could side with Wakanda now and they're like, hey, we need you to go check this out. And then they kind of cross paths, you know what I mean? Whatever she's looking for, then that's what it is. What other people you want to see in this?
I would. Earlier today, I was thinking. I wonder if we're gonna see a scroll in any of the episodes.
That'd be interesting. How do you feel about the Flag Smashers? Actually, when we talk about them, we just got a quick intro of them.
To me, they just seem like a distraction. Like there's like 3 people really.
3 main, yeah.
There's but then one guy, and then the 2 people he handed the bags off to. Everybody else was just there. They were just like on their phones.
Well,
all right, ready. Go.
I'd say 4 people, because there's a guy that jumped out, the one girl who's handing out masks to everybody. Yeah. So if she's handing out masks, she should be, and just because of the actor of it is supposed to be a big part of everything. That's why I say 4. But yeah. Her part of being the one giving out the masks and telling people what to do, and then the guy jumping out, and then the 2. It just shows that they're very organized. They're a very organized thing too. Like,
but I just meant like, there's like a couple main people, but like that whole swarm, it's not. That's what I first thought, it was that whole swarm, but it kind of felt like people just trying to be down, like come meet up, right? And
because it goes back to
just run. Like they don't know what's going on. They don't know.
No, they just whatever they're told to do, they just run out and do. But they're probably not sure exactly what they're doing. They just feel to be a part of something.
Yeah,
well, that's true. But
so I want to know
the one guy
really involved. How many people are really planning and really participating, as opposed to just showing up and putting a mask on and running around.
How do you like their their reasoning their reason for being, that they preferred it before the blip, before the everybody came back. They're like, that was the time everybody came together. It was no worries about, like, it was no worries because half the population is gone. So everybody kind of stuck together because everybody lost something. Like everybody went through a common loss. So it brought everybody together, and from what they're fighting, it seemed to be a much better world, which they actually show in when he goes to the bank. And the bank's like, yeah, before we could have gave you what you're asking, but now since everybody's back, everything just got tight. Like everything's got like, because I actually thought of that. I was like, 5 years of the blip, how many insurance companies went bankrupt? Because think about that. Like, how many insurance companies? I guess they don't cover acts of God because there's no explanation to that, right? It's just gone. And like 5 years are gone, and you could be like, okay, maybe he really is gone. And then say you got paid within that time, and then 5 years later, and the person shows up, do you got to pay the money back? Like, there's so many issues that come with that whole blip, the blipping in and out. And it's crazy that based off of that blip, they're creating a whole new world and storylines off it.
Was there a I think they were in the Smithsonian when he was giving back the shield, and there was that list, the digital list of the vanished, and it just scrolled and scrolled, and it wasn't a whole lot of time in between, like when you saw it and when you didn't, but there was a pace to it, and it's just seeing all those names is just like
it all
you
came
feel
back.
the gravity of it.
Remember, even when Ant-Man came back out of the quantum realm, and he was like looking at the walls, like all these names, like what the hell? And just like, I still wonder, are those still standing, or did they take those down? Like, because true saying, there has to be some that still ended up dying, like people who disappeared on airplanes, like they had to die. People who disappeared on boats, I'm assuming they died, you know. So I don't know, but can't wait to see Baron Zemo and this purple mask. The purple mask has to drop very soon. I think I'm gonna have to go buy one myself.
I want
for a music video.
I want to know if they I want to know if they're gonna try to play Baron Zemo, trying to use the code again on him.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That he tries it just to see it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll be one of those early catches. Like they catch him, and he tries it on them, and he's like, "Doesn't work, bitch." Punches him out, you know, and then he wakes up in like a jail cell, and then he gets broken out or some shit. But hopefully they pay it off. Hopefully they go back and they do that.
It'll be interesting to see what they try to recall from Civil War with him.
From Civil War, Captain America, and then the Infinity Wars stories, Endgames, all that shit. Well, I guess Iron Man too. There's gonna be a little bit. I wonder if this is the only Don Cheadle we'll see, or if he'll show up later down the line.
I have a feeling he's gonna pop back up again.
I hope so. It's a good look. It was good. Like seeing him in the crowd is like, it kind of makes it normal too, that you kind of expect to see different people, and when you see them, it's not even like surprising anymore. It's like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you think how much do you think that they're gonna lean into the resentment the sister has for him?
I think that's gonna help his change. You know what I mean? There's gonna be like so many things hitting them at once. So we'll say like the new Captain America is hitting them, trying to get along with Bucky. Well, Bucky's probably telling them like, "Bro, you're Captain America. Stop the bullshit." You know what I mean? He's like, he could have gave me the shield. He gave it to you. I expected you to keep it. So if you're not keeping it, why the hell did you give it back? You should just gave it to me. So I can feel like he will have pressure on him on that side, and then his sister's pressuring him like, yo, bro, I don't need you to do this shit. Go back and be a superhero. Like, leave me alone. So all that stuff is just gonna push him to be like, you know what? Let me go do this.
Yeah, I just felt like there was. It felt like there was something a little further underneath the
It's
surface
bubbling.
with her,
Him and his
with
sister,
her
it's bubbling
specifically.
because I feel her specifically because you got to think about it. Like, she said she went 5 years, no help. You know what I mean? Everybody died. Like, everybody was gone. So it was just her. So I'll picture that. Like, you're happy that he's there, but 5 years just passed. Like, you can't come back and act like you control shit. You don't control anything no more. Like, I had to hold this shit down. Like, so if I'm telling you we got to sell this boat, it's not an argument. I sat down for 5 years not trying to sell this boat. So just because you showed up, you can't tell me keep it now. Like, go be a superhero and do what you're doing. Like, so it's gonna be like, it's just gonna be a family issue. It's gonna be something he's gonna see. Like, he's gonna have to grasp like this family dynamic isn't what it used to be.
Yeah,
She might be the bigger one now. Kind of like how he said, "Oh, you're reading me now, like I used to. I'm the one supposed to read you." So now the whole family dynamic's changing on him. So he's just gonna have to grasp that and be like, "Fuck, all right, do what you do, do what you do. Let me go be Captain America." But
yeah.
6 episodes to break all this down. In a
It's
way, I
gonna be
feel I'm like,
interesting to see.
yeah. To think back at it, do you think WandaVision could have been done in 6 episodes? Like, all those dynamics. I'm trying to think like,
No, it was spaced out perfectly with 9 because I mean the decades going from decade to decade, and then like finally picking the pace up around like the 4th or 5th episode.
yeah,
Like you can't, you can't. It's like knowing where to put the commercial breaks.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. So, what are you expecting from next episode? Are they going to see each other? Are they going to finally meet? Well, 6 episodes. I feel like they're going to have to. I think Bucky's actually going to give him a call back, minimum next episode.
Um, I think you're gonna get a little bit of. I'm Here's who I expect to see in the next one. Director Ross.
Okay. Why Director Ross?
Because he isn't he the one that's like co-signing the new
The
Captain America?
new Captain America? I believe so. Yeah. Damn.
Super Soldier Serum that has to come up because the person in the flag smashes, he definitely has it.
He has to have it, and then also, or he's a mutant, and then also, obviously,
I
U.S.
explained.
agent. The new Captain America has the super serum as well. But this is where I think they're gonna open up Weapons Plus. So like the whole
Ross has to be-
weapons department. So when they bring in that weapons department, Wolverine is coming down the line. Truthfully, actually, I was thinking about that as well. The mutants could coexist in this world right now. Because first and foremost, if we go back to Iron Man where they said was it the deleted scene where Nick Fury mentioned Spider-Man, mutants, and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a deleted scene, so they're not going to act like it exists.
They had to get rid of it because it said mutants.
Yeah. So, but just because Nick Fury knows there's mutants in the world, why does he have to tell everybody? You know what I mean? Like, if something happened between him and the mutants or something happened, he's just like, you guys need to stay low. Like, low as fuck. And they're doing whatever they can do to stay under the radar. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but then you still have to explain Thanos. All hands on deck.
But who called all hands on deck? The Avengers. But Avengers have no clue who they are. Why would they call them?
So all of them are low like that in that time. Like then you have to explain every mutant was just like, all right, I'm not going to war with this.
But the war happened in Wakanda. You know what I mean? It's like, go back to the first movie when the Jatari came at them, right? That was in New York. There's no saying that Jatari didn't happen in Chicago or Los Angeles or England. You know what I mean? There's no saying none of that happened in other places. So they could have been fighting them in other places, just not where the Avengers are. And all our storylines follow Avengers. So anything like, it's kind of like
It's gonna be a long explainer.
it's kind of like the Luke Cage explainer, like the Netflix MCU.
Oh, the like New York.
You know what I mean? Just because they're lower, it's like we're not on the same level as them. You know what I mean? Like New York is still a big city. You know what I mean? Like America, Canada, the world is still a big place. So just because something is happening in one spot doesn't mean everybody's going to show up to handle it. Especially if, say, just like Captain, like how Nick Fury had Captain Marvel on call. Maybe he had X-Men on call as well. So when X-Men didn't get that call, they turn on TV and they go, okay, the Avengers got it. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to Endgame, they wouldn't know the Avengers were planning on doing time travel. They would have no anything to know about that. You know what I mean? So because they know nothing about that, when Avengers do their whole plan and then Thanos comes back with them and fights them, why are they going to go do it? It's just like, it's out the blue. Like most people at that time are surprised people are still showing up to even realize that Thanos is fighting the Avengers again. So I'm like, the mutants can be hidden.
It's gonna be a tall task.
Yeah. But it's like, even the Fantastic Four.
The whole time.
But it's like, where were they? It could be that they were on another planet. They can use that excuse. Because even Fantastic Four could be here as well. Because just because they're like a superhero group doesn't mean they have to show up to everything that happens.
I just think like, it's a shame that you'd have to tell these stories in these ways because of property and who owns it. 20 years ago to now. And now you can use this. Now you can implement this.
Well, what's good about this way is that it makes everything fresh. You know what I mean? They can't go to the comic book and be like, we're going to follow exactly how this comic book went. They couldn't because they didn't have access to everything. Yeah. So they truly had to make their own versions of what we know, which is working out like crazy. Yeah. Because
I was thinking about order too, in a way, how there's the MCU schedule for Phase 4 has been, or how it's turned out. Because like we were saying before about Black Widow having to change that date and WandaVision opening the phase.
Yeah.
It sets its own different. I was also thinking about this one, and I was like, you're getting the everyman story from Sam Wilson. And you're kind of have to gonna tell that story again with Hawkeye. Like, imagine if the schedule was different and Hawkeye came out first before Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because they don't have superpowers.
Okay. In that vein. Yeah.
You kind of have to deal with the ground level A/B.
They need to stop bullshitting. They need to stop bullshitting and just say that Hawkeye has a superpower. Because to be that good, technically no, but to be that good at aiming, that's a superpower, bro. Like, I feel like there's like, maybe it's something that's so like light, mild, that it doesn't come up on their thing. But think about that. This man can hit anything at any point. I know there's training. I know you can train that much, but is there that much training really? Like if I jump, twist my body, and go like this, I'm gonna hit what I'm gonna hit. Like I don't know. They should just gave him a superpower and said, bro. Because then there's the other guy. Did you watch the old Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck?
I did not.
Okay. So yeah, I was gonna see if you know the villain, Bullseye. The Daredevil villain Bullseye. He has the superpower of hitting his target, Bullseye. You know what I mean? So it's like, but Hawkeye doesn't. But Hawkeye is like just like him. You know what I mean? Like this man had to get superpowers to be like Hawkeye. I think they should just give him superpowers, or finally say like, "Oh shit, you had superpowers this whole time. It's just that you don't have super strength. You don't have none of this other super shit. You just have good aim."
That would be funny as hell now, seeing all the jokes from like back when.
Yeah,
Even him and Wanda in the kind of in that little kind of like shanty or whatever. And he's just like, "Look, I shoot bows and arrows. None of this makes sense."
Yeah, he's like, "That doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna go this way." It was like as soon as he comes out, what does he do? He hits all his targets. Come on now, man. He was. I feel like he had like some type of superpower, but he was just keeping it on the low. Like, no, I'm just a regular human. I'm just a regular agent. Except there's no other agent that can do that. So they would only train one agent to do all that? Only one? Come on now. Don't worry, Hawkeye. I see you. I see you, Hawkeye. You're not the only one. But yeah. So next week's episode. I hope I see Zemo. Just quick.
I feel like you will.
Yeah. I think the whole WandaVision like threw it off for me. So now I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take a couple days before something like really happens, and it's like you only have 6 episodes, man. They're gonna be hitting you quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm happy because this is like back to the Marvel shit, like we started. I'm like,
yeah, it's like if you were looking for action off rip, this is it.
Exactly. I see why WandaVision was supposed to be down the line. You know what I mean? It was like it's experimental. It was something that it's an artsy thing that could win awards. Yeah.
It was trippy, and I like the fact that Marvel can do different movies with completely different tones
while using superheroes. The shit that they told them they couldn't do because it's superhero movies. You know what I mean?
It's all different shit. Like, you know.
But that's the best part about Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics were always that layered. It was like you have this character, like even look at Spider-Man. This man's whole reason for being Spider-Man is because he didn't take the time to save his uncle when he could have. That's dark, B. That's dark. For a superhero?
Yeah.
There's so much you can tell off of that now. So
it is.
Marvel's good like that. Like they'll always give you like deeper characters. Like that's why people love Wolverine. Like he's a savage, but they understand the man doesn't remember his past. He's trying to find his past. Like he's trying to find out the truth. You know what I mean? So once he goes to Professor X, Professor X is helping him. But we know he's the rebel that doesn't want to be friends with people, but he's warming up bit by bit. Like it's just that whole storyline. Like this savage is becoming human.
Well, I'm not laughing because of that. I'm only laughing because once you said Professor X, it reminded me of an episode of Fuckery and Friends. I was listening to it this week, the podcast. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Well, of course you know about it. But Dwight said something. No, I'm trying to remember. The guest said something, and he said, "Who's the really smart dude in the wheelchair?"
They're really
Dwight
smart.
goes,
Too.
Dwight goes, Professor X? He's talking about Stephen Hawking. But it's like,
Yeah. Now as you say it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That lets you know how deep into comicdom we are.
and of course, Dwight had the bruh.
Oh, Professor X.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys haven't tuned in, go Fuckery Online, check it on YouTube. Whole bunch of shows. Trust me, that's all we do out here is a whole bunch of podcasts. Whole bunch of podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah. So next week we got episode 2, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Before we go, anything else you'd like to add?
Let me see if I got everything from my notes. Yeah, I think I got everything.
Boom, bomb, bomb. Well, till next week, we might actually Slim might pass through. You never know. I swear it's too late. I bet she's asleep.
Probably.
That's the thing about Fridays. That's why I was hoping like you can come like 7:30. If we could have started like 7:30, knock that out in an hour. But
yeah, it's just difficult for me because I finished work at 6. So
exactly, no, understandable. But yeah, until next week, we're gonna knock this out. This is another episode of the Casual Fan Marvel Critique Union. I am Yauda Sheza. Find me there on IG. Also,
St. Jason.
You can find him at. Oh,
Saint
hold on. Right there, I did it. Saint You. So yes, and you can follow us, Casual Fan Podcast, where we'll be doing the wrestling, the 3 count. Yeah. And yeah, that's going to be the newest segment for now. So stay tuned so you know exactly what we're doing. And if you guys want to join us, you can always join us there as well. And can you please take us out, Trace?
Shot Club Podcast, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. And now you know when we going live.
Gang, gang. I'm such a kid. Gang, gang.